to have an alibi, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. I loved this person who got murdered. Is that bad? I don't know. Lily is crazy, question mark? She is. She kind of is. You look so stupid right now. What are you doing? And then they literally, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? If you watched my most recent reading video, I read 13 different holiday festive books on my Kindle with Kindle Unlimited. One of those books was called The Worst Noel, and it's the very first book of the holiday cozy Juniper Junction mystery series. I decided to read the rest of those books and then review them for you guys, so then you know if you're like into murder mystery and very chill books, then this might be something that you might want to read in the future or now. I don't know. If you did not watch my very first video, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna review the book for you guys. So the first book, like I said, is called The Worst Noel, and this series is by Amy M. Reade, or Reade, I don't really know, Reade? I don't know. So there's a couple of characters in this story that are reoccurring characters, but there's really only like one main character. Her name is Lily. She's around, I think she's in her early 40s, I believe. This whole series takes place in 3 years, I'm pretty sure. Lily, she's about 40 years old. She owns her very own jewelry store in a small town. It's called Juniper Junction, but it's also a touristy spot during the winter because everybody loves going skiing and everything. So it's a touristy spot. The book starts off by Lily going in to work on Black Friday. She's the only one who works at her jewelry shop, so she walks in, but the first thing that she notices, first red flag off the bat, was that the back door of her store was open. She's like, maybe I forgot to like close it, because the day before Thanksgiving she was in a rush trying to get out of there fast enough because she had to go check on her mom. Her mom has dementia, by the way. It's open. She's a little concerned. She's like, okay. She walks in. She checks the vault. That door is also open. Not a great start. So then she goes on to turn on some of the lights in the store. And then what does she do? She trips. But over what? A dead body. She trips over a dead body, which, you know, is probably the biggest red flag of them all. So she has to call the cops. Her brother is a cop, so she calls him. He comes on his way. Her shop is basically closed for the next couple of days because it's a crime scene. The whole book is basically trying to figure out who the killer is, because there's not just one murder, there's 2 of them. And it's very concerning because she looks like the number 1 suspect, because she herself, Lily, did not like the lady who got murdered, who owns a little gas station convenience store down the road. And Lily is actually like the head of the chambers, something. If you know, you know. You know. But she's like the leader, the president of it. I don't know what it's called. But anyways, she doesn't really like that lady. It's very suspicious of her, but nobody really likes that lady because she's kind of grouchy. And then the second person who gets murdered, she had like somewhat of an argument with, like, the day or 2 days before he got murdered. So that is also very concerning. She is definitely suspect number 1, 100%. Everybody. So she doesn't, I don't know what her deal is, but she kind of low-key doesn't trust the police to get their job done and figure out who the actual murderer is for some reason. I mean, I guess I get it. Because if I was number 1 suspect, I would also be trying to solve the whole mystery too, and not just let it up to the police to figure it out. She kind of asks questions around, seeing if she can get any answers. Her brother is also a cop, so she's trying to get as much information from him as she can. For this reason, I think she gets targeted a lot by the murderers, because if she is going around trying to look for answers, trying to look for clues, obviously the murderers are not going to be very happy about that. She either really does not trust the police to like solve the murder, or or she really wants to become a detective. That is what I have decided, okay? There's not a lot of action in these books. The most action that you might get is like at the beginning where everything is getting started. At the beginning of the murders and everything, like that's the most exciting parts. And then also at the end of the books where everything is solved, that's also very exciting whenever she like figures out who the murderers are. That's very fun and like not action packed, but like a little bit more actiony than the rest of the book. All these books are very chill. They're very chill. There's nothing crazy going on. It's not like a thriller. It's not going to rattle your brain very much. It's very fun. And I'm gonna say this, I don't know if the author is from America or something, because some of the words that would be in the book was very confusing to me because it wasn't how you would write in English. Wording in the books just wouldn't make sense unless I'm just dumb, which could be which is valid, but like I don't know. She has 2 kids, one a boy, one a girl. Ty, that's the son's name, he is 18, and then Laurel, this daughter, is 17 years old. She's a single mother. There's kind of more to that because the father is kind of trying to come back into the lives after 17 years of nothing. And then there's also a subplot of romance. She meets this guy, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of suspected him because I was like, why are you introducing a new character right now? But like, he's cool, he's chill. There's a love interest as well. These books, spice level wise, is always a 1. There's never anything very much implied. They never do anything besides like lightly kiss. That's really it. So this book, I am going to be giving it a 4 stars. I loved the characters, especially the kids. I don't know, there's something about just reading about kids who are like well behaved. Is that bad? I don't know. And this first book really did make me want to read the rest of the books because I wanted to keep seeing more of the characters and just seeing more of their dynamics. Second book is Dead, White, and Blue. So this is the cover. Dead, White, and Blue is basically an Independence Day themed book. That's where it all starts, basically. All of the people who have stores, the merchants, they are basically going to be reenacting the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which is a lot of fun. There's also going to be like a whole bunch of like little games at the town square or whatever. There's going to be food provided. Noli is the best friend and a famous chef, and she is in charge of catering for the whole thing. It's a big job because even though this is like a small town, I don't really get it because it's like a small town, but it's a touristy town, so there's a lot of people always. I don't know. And so she's very stressed about the job, and at the event somebody actually ends up dying. And the worst part about it is that they were literally eating a salad that Noli had just served them, and then they literally and so it looks extremely suspicious on Noli. And this lady who did die, she is new into town. Her and her husband just opened a bistro in town, and they're very new. They've been there for like maybe a month, maybe 2. They wanted to cater the event, but then they found out that they couldn't because Noli was catering the event. So they ended up just doing a little like dessert bar kind of thing. Again, I'm pretty sure Lily wants to become like a detective. Even more so, obviously your best friend is in jail, and obviously you're like, oh, she didn't do it. So Lily is trying to figure out who did do it. Like, there's a whole bunch of possibilities as to who could do it. By the way, there is also another like little side plot. There's another side story going on. Basically there are a ton of fires going around. There's an arsonist on the loose, and this arsonist is just putting houses up in flames. She's not really trying to solve that, but like it's a thing that's going around town, so we hear about it. But anyways, I'm going to be giving this a 4-star rating. I did miss the kids a lot in this book. Ty wasn't very much in it, neither was Laurel in it very much. I miss the kid. Be My Valencrime is the next one. This is what the whole thing looks like. These are so cute. I'm obsessed. Lily has gotten a new little assistant for her shop because like I said, her mom has dementia, and that's like a whole other thing that we read about throughout the entire series, like her dementia progressing and having to do different things, like moving her into a home and whatever. That's a whole thing that slowly progresses throughout the books. So this one is basically about Harry. It's Lily's assistant. She is going to be asking Alice, his girlfriend, to marry him. It's Valentine's Day. He is planning to propose to her on Valentine's Day. He buys the ring. He goes to dinner where Alice is supposed to meet him, and she does not show up. Okay, she stood him up, okay? And then the next day, the police come in and they're like trying to question Harry. They're like, do you know where Alice has been? You know, where were you at last night? Blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Do you have an alibi? Blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And he's like, what is this about? The police is like, her parents have filed a missing report. Alice is missing. Since Lily is an aspiring detective, obviously she is on the case. She's ready to go. She's jotting down notes. She is asking the questions. So she goes looking for Alice. There was only one murder in this book. I think in the last book also there was one murder. I'm not too sure. I think there was. And I was genuinely so sad about this murder because I loved this person who got murdered so much. Like, their character was just very good. And so when I saw that they get murdered, I was like, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? Honestly, I don't really know if that murder was necessary, but then again, none of these murders are very necessary, you know what I mean? So in this book, I am also going to be giving it 4 stars. I could not figure out who the killer was. There was a lot of different characters that don't stay, but they were like in this book, and I couldn't figure out who it was. There's just too many people who it could have been. There was Harry's friends, there was Alice's co-workers, Alice's peers because she was in college, Allison's family, Harry, you know, there's just a lot of people, and I could not figure out who the killer was. So when I figured it out, I was like, wait, we barely even saw this person. Like, I forgot that they even existed. That was kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't mind that. There are some racist people in the book because her boyfriend is from Afghanistan, but he lived in England for a little bit, and then he moved to the United States. Ghouls Night Out. So this one is Halloween themed. Very cool, very nice. And in this one you can actually see a dead person. Look at that. Do you see them? Isn't that cool? Ghouls Night Out, Halloween themed. Hassan, who is Lily's boyfriend, he has a lot going on in his mind. First off, he has been doing some remodeling, not remodeling, but landscape modeling for his house in Juniper Junction, and his neighbor is just not the greatest person ever. She works from home most of the time, and so while people are like out there doing their job, she's like, can you guys be quiet? Because you guys are kind of loud. And it's kind of like, okay, like I get it, but like, and then also she has claimed that his fence that he just put up is 6 inches into her land, into her yard, but that's just not true. It's just not true. So she's kind of just a pain. And then he ends up getting into a car accident with a different person, but I think they're kind of related, or like they know, they're like in the same circle somewhat. And she is also a Karen. So there's just too much going on. Car accident is completely his fault. He was not paying attention and he completely just T-boned the lady. She was kind of racist. She was like, you know, she said something like about how her relative was in a plane crash or in a plane or something like that, and she was like trying to be like sneaky about the 9/11 incident, and he just like during a little like tea party at this new business that had just opened, and that was just like, girl, what are you doing? And that she was referring to like the 9/11 incident, but then later on it's revealed that wasn't even true. She was just talking about like an incident that happened before 9/11, but like she knew what she was doing. And I was like, girl, just shut up. Just also on Halloween night, they're handing out candy. Hassan is like, he's in pain. He has like crutches. He's in pain. He has like stuff on, you know? So basically there's these kids who like force themselves into the house, into like the little foyer, and are pretending to like spray down the house with like fake guns. They don't have guns, but they're pretending to have guns. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you look so stupid right now. What are you doing? I cannot right now. I cannot. Ivy is the one who got into the car accident, and then Michelle is the neighbor. Later on, it is found that both Ivy and Michelle are murdered. All fingers are basically pointing at Hassan because he had problems with both of them. Detective Lily is on the case. Don't worry. She's gonna solve it. She's gonna solve it, and then everything will be good for the next 3 months until she gets a new case. This book is a 4-star. So this book was very fun. Lily kind of played different roles, which was a lot of fun to see, but also, you know what it is? Ever since like Be My Valencrime, we don't really see Lily at her jewelry shop, which is kind of annoying because she kind of just is leaving Harry to do all the work. Meanwhile, she's out here part-time job detectiveness, you know, and it's like, okay, what are you doing, girl? I really liked that book. It was fun. It touched on some like real world problems. It was very enraging. I made it through, and it was bad, but I made it through. May Day. So this one, you can see an airplane, you can see you know, the things. You can see the things. And now they're getting married. I'm sorry if that was a spoiler, but I feel like that was not too much of a spoiler. And of course, freaking Lily is kind of in charge of getting everything together, but Lily is having problems with the caterer because, first of all, I think the caterer wasn't able to supply as many people that she needed to help her for the reception and everything. And Lily's like, I don't know what you want me to do with that, girl. Like, I signed a contract. Like you have to, like, what do you want me to do? Like, huh? And then secondly, the caterer was also like, so I wasn't able to get the beef, or I think it was the shrimp. I don't remember. There was like 2 different options as a meal for the reception. It was like beef or shrimp or something like that. I think it was people who wanted the shrimp. She was not able to get the shrimp in time, or it might have been the people who wanted the beef. She was not able to get the beef in time, something like that. So instead, she just did all beef or all shrimp. I just don't remember which one it was. So then Lily's like, okay, like the people who ordered the thing that they wanted, they're just not gonna get it, and they're like, I can't do anything about it. And Lily was trying to be helpful. She's like, can I just like go out and buy you some meat or something like that, or shrimp or whatever? I think it was me. And she's like, no, like mine is like very like la 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 and blah blah. And she's like, oh, like I don't know what you want me to do, girl. And so like a lot of people just didn't eat at the reception because it wasn't what they ordered. What if you had a freaking shrimp allergy, and that's why you wanted beef? Too bad. Not for you today, I guess. I mean, like, whatever. After the ceremony, they're taking pictures, you know, everybody's transitioning over to the reception and everything. There is a plane buzzing, which basically is, if you don't know, it's when a plane gets really close to the ground and it makes the ground shake. So there's a plane buzzing and everybody's like, oh, what the heck just happened? And there's a lot of police at this little wedding because there's a police officer, so he invited like everybody he knows at the police place. All the police, they go over to the plane, see if they can find anything, see if the pilot is okay, whatever. And then later that night, I think maybe not even an hour later, they're starting to get everything ready for the reception. Everybody's going back inside. Everybody's like, okay, calm down. And then they end up finding the caterer is found dead, like next to the lake. Lily's like, oh my god, like of course somebody would like right now. What is happening? As you know, Detective Lily never passes up on a case. I am going to be giving this book 4 stars. I said there was a lot going on, which felt exciting. Didn't necessarily happen in town, and it didn't have anything to do with the stores or like the merchants, which was probably like the first time. Fowl Play is the next book. So this is the 6th book. I don't know if you guys see that, but holidays can be murder. See, this is what I mean. Like sometimes the wording in the book is kind of confusing because it says holidays can be murder. Wouldn't it be like murderous? Or maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm the problem. Foul Play, it's Thanksgiving again. Lily is crazy. Oh. Lily is crazy, question mark? She is. She kind of is. she's kind of wild, and I'm not gonna lie. So for Thanksgiving, Lily ends up inviting 4 basically strangers. The first one is Xavier, who is her new neighbor. Number 2 is Isabel, who is the realtor that they hired to sell their mom's place, because this is the part where she's like getting moved to a home because her dementia is getting worse. Number 3 is Phoebe, who is a new store owner. New store owner alert! Then there is Chelsea, who is Nolly's new assistant. And basically 2 people get murdered. There is 2 people from the dinner who died. So obviously Lily is gonna be number 1 suspect, as always. I'm not gonna lie. Also, can I just say, she has a weird obsession with sandwiches, because I swear almost every single time that she'd make a meal at home, it would be sandwiches. On Thanksgiving, their turkey ends up getting eaten by the dog or something like that, and she tells her boyfriend, go to the store and see if there's any turkeys left. And he calls and he's like, there's no more. And she's like, okay, just get some sliced meat and sliced turkey and some bread, and we can make sandwiches. I'm like, I feel like there's more things that you can make other than sandwiches. This one was actually kind of fun because there were so many, like, a little bit more main characters. Not main characters, but more side characters that were more frequent in the book than in the past. Like all the people who were at her Thanksgiving dinner, Xavier, Isabel, Phoebe, Chelsea, and then there are some other people. Like Xavier has an ex-wife, I forgot her name. 4 stars for this book. I actually couldn't tell who the killer was. Low-key and high-key very confusing. So this one was a really fun book too. And also I could not figure out who it was because there are so many like suspects as to who it could have been. It could have been somebody from the dinner. It could have been somebody else that wasn't at the dinner. And it was just like, okay. And they all had like somewhat of a motive and a reason to murder somebody. Last book is called St. Patrick's Foray. There is a snatch and grab at Lily's jewelry store. The few moments that we see Lily at her jewelry store and it gets robbed. Amazing. Nobody gets hurt. There's just a lot missing. And then also Lily is commissioned for a wedding which has 28 custom pieces. It's crazy good for her. The wedding is between these 2 people, the lady and then there's the guy. The guy's mom really does not like the lady and there's like some drama there. And then the mother-in-law of the girl, she is basically murdered. And it's kind of like, okay, who murdered? I'm not gonna lie, this book, I feel like if she made more books, I really don't know what she would write about because I feel like we've done a lot. I feel like we've learned a lot as well. I don't know what else she could write about because I feel like this last book is a perfect ending to the series because I just don't think there's very much left to tell. Not very necessary. Like, you can tell that there's kind of not much to write about anymore because all the people that could have had something to do with them, all of them have already had a thing. Anyways, this is a 4 stars. I said this one felt really dull. It wasn't very close to her and it just felt more like real world problems. It's just very annoying. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys on? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish here. I don't know. There's a whole side plot with that. I gave all of these books a 4. I would give this whole series as a whole a 4-star rating. I thought they were really good books. They were fun. They were very cozy, very chill. None of it was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to really use 100% of my brain power in order to read this. It was nothing like that. It was very chill. It was very cozy. It was fun. I do think this is a really good series for Kindle Unlimited. I will be rereading these books and I think that's a really good sign coming from me because if I do decide to reread a book, then that means that I will want to go back into the world. I will want to keep reading about those characters again. I will want to go through that entire story again. It's not my all-time favorite book series of all time, but I thought this was a really good series and I definitely will be rereading these books because they were not very long. There's 7 of them and each of one of them took place in a different time, and then there was also different like subplot problems, and then there's the book series, and here is my Kindle. So I did all of this reading on my Kindle and it was very fun and I really do like reading on my Kindle. It's very easy, very nice. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if this book series sounds at all interesting to you guys. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye!